Alright, thank you and welcome back to another one of my exciting tutorial videos. This one will be on the well-awaited artificial intelligence, having a bot, making it run around. Towards the end we may even make it do a few different things, like maybe run away from you. He's definitely going to run towards you though. And we're going to set up the bot, we're going to set up the behavioral tree which will control the bot, we're going to set up more or less the bot's brain, which is where the behavioral tree comes in. We're going to have it running around. It's going to run on a set path, and then when it sees you, it will run to you. You will be able to have a line of sight, like if you run around a block. You can see my level set up down here. I've got a bunch of blocks, and I've got the base third-person template going here. So this is what we're going to use. Okay, it's the base template, like I said. So third person, if you want to pull that up, I just made the stage a little bit bigger, moved blocks around, made some resized, all that little fun jazz. Alright, so we're going to get right into this though. We're going to need 4 things to start this off with, and I made me a little folder for this tutorial. You don't have to, you can put it wherever you want to, but I'd like to have my stuff simple. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go here to Blueprint Class. Now some of the stuff I'm going to go a little fast with because getting into the AI you should have a little bit of familiarity with a lot of these things and a lot of the locations on some of them, but I'll still try to cover everything. We're going to make us a character. We're going to name this AI underscore bot because it is a bot. It's being controlled by the computer. We're also going to go right here to artificial intelligence, and we're going to create us a behavior tree. We're going to call this AI underscore bot underscore BT for behavior tree. We're going to go back into artificial intelligence. We're going to go to Blackboard. We're going to go AI underscore bot underscore BB for Blackboard. And now the other thing that we need is going to be the actual controller which controls this bot. So we need to go back to Blueprint Class, and if you don't have it open, just click on all classes here. Type in AIC. You'll see AIC comes up here. AI controller. Go ahead and select that. AI underscore bot underscore, I'm just going to call it cont for controller. Okay. Go ahead and save it so you have all that saved. I'll save often because Unreal has a habit of shutting down on me, so I like to keep my stuff saved. Now the first thing we're going to do, now that we've got all this stuff set up, is we've got to get different things in there to get stuff set up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our bot in there. So we're going to open up the AI bot. Okay, go ahead and maximize this here. We're going to go over here to the mesh, and we're going to select our mesh. We're going to select the SK mannequin, which is the third person bot. We're going to put them down here on the bottom. Now I like to, and I'll show you here, I like to put mine right there on the bottom, at the bottom of the capsule. If you select the capsule, you can see it's just above it. Same thing for that. If you prefer the capsule to be below the feet, you can move him up a stage. Now the other thing we have to do is, as you notice here, my arrow is pointing this way. So the character is going to be running sideways at the moment. So we actually need to go ahead and put it to the top. Hit the space bar to turn it to the radial, or you can select the rotate object up here, or even hit the E. E is in everyone. And then we're going to rotate our character 90 degrees. Go ahead and compile and save that. Now, we need to set up the animation blueprint that this character is going to have. Now, you may have your own. Again, we're just using the third person template here. So we want to make sure Use Animation Blueprint is selected there. And then under the anim class, we are going to go with third person anim blueprint. Now if you have your own, you can go through here and select your own, but again, we're using the third person. So if you've got it all set up right, your character should be in whatever pose you have set up for the beginning of your animation. In most cases it's an idle, which is what this is. Now we can go ahead and save that and close out of it. We are actually done in there for right now. Okay. Let's see. Actually, no, we're not. Go ahead and open it back up. I forgot to change something. Alright, go to that. Let's see. We need to go to the character movement. Okay. And there's a section in here. We're just going to go up to the search bar and type in nav. And we're going to change nav agent radius, my apologies, to 42. Now that's going to be the size. We're going to actually resize this capsule a little bit. But that's going to be the size of our capsule as far as the radius. So the circle around it's going to be 42. And then we're going to go with a 192. And what that's going to do is that's going to be double the height that we're going to actually make the capsule. So we can select the capsule here and we can... Why do I not have... Oh, duh. Alright, and under shape, we're going to go with 96 for the half height and 42 for the radius. And as you can see, it adjusts it in here. Now, what this is doing is we're giving the nav, instead of running off of a 0, 0, which will be the bottom corner down here, or dead center of his body with it being a 0 radius, anything within this capsule, or double the height of this capsule, is going to be able to do something for this bot, such as running behind a wall and stopping on the wall. He won't be clipped halfway in the wall. He'll be stopped outside of the wall. This allows us to not have to use trigger bounds and stuff like that to actually keep him from going into a wall. This will treat the capsule here as kind of our trigger bounds. So now that we're done in there, we can close that out. The next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a few variables onto our blackboard, because our blackboard is what's going to hold all of our variables. Alright? And we need to put a few into there in order to get things set up to get them to move. So go ahead and double click on your blackboard, and we're going to add a new key. Now we're going to add several different things here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add a target to follow. Okay? This variable, this object variable, is going to be when our bot sees us as the player, he's going to run to that location. Okay? The other thing that we're going to need is we're going to need two vectors. So I'll go ahead and make both the vectors here. Now the first one is going to be called home location. Now what that is where the character starts. As soon as the game loads up, that is the location that is the home location of that bot. Okay, and then we're going to have a target location. Now this is not the location that the player is. This is the location of where we're going to be running our bot to, such as like if we want to patrol a 3-mile radius or whatever. You know, we would use this target location in order to facilitate that need. Okay, so now with that done, we're going to go ahead and close out of the blackboard because we're done with it for right now, and you can go ahead and save it again just to make sure everything is all good to go. Next thing we need to do is we need to open up what I call the brain, which is the controller, AI bot controller. Okay, we don't need this event tick. Okay, I'm going to slide this in a better view here. Let me shrink a few of these windows here. There we go. Now we're going to set up a few things here. Okay, because we got to plug some information into the blackboard so that the blackboard knows what to use for that information. But the first thing we need to do is we need to tell it to use a blackboard. So we get the blackboard up there, and we select the blackboard that we used in the assets here, which is AI bot BB. Okay. Next thing off of that, we're going to do set value as vector. Okay. Now you'll notice that we have some things here. Okay. We've got a target, we've got a key name, and we've got a vector value. Now in the older versions of the Unreal Engine, you don't have this blackboard component node here. So you would do you would get a self node, you would drag off of that, and you would get blackboard, okay, and then you would tie it into target. Okay, that way, the blackboard that's related to this, which is right here, this use. Okay, but now in the newer ones, you can just drag and drop like that. Okay, so either one. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and unhook that one though, because I don't need this. So, but I'll leave it right there just so it can be seen. Okay. All right, but what we do need though is we need to set a variable for our key name. And we're going to promote that to a variable, and it's going to be a name, which is what we want. And we're going to name this home location. Okay. Now the reason we're going to name that is because this variable is what we're going to do, or what we're going to use to tell the blackboard, hey, this vector name is going to have this value. So now how do we get said value? Well, we get controlled pawn, because this is controlled. We do not control this pawn. The computer controls it. We drag off of that and we get actor location. And then we connect that to vector value. And then after that we run the behavior tree. And then we select the behavior again. Now what this is going to do is we're going to use the blackboard. We're going to set this information. And then we're going to run said blackboard. Alright. So go ahead and compile and save, and we're done with that. Okay. Sorry, I'm conferring with my notes here just to make sure I get everything right for you guys. Now that we've got those two items set up, okay, now we can actually get to where we're starting to do things for the bot. Now, we're going to finish up with one more thing here, and then we're going to take us a short break, and then we're going to come back to this. And what that is we need to put a nav mesh bounds volume into our level. And what that's going to do is allow the computer to compute where our bot can and cannot go. Okay. For example, if I wanted to walk only down here in this bottom area, if I wanted to be able to walk up on top of this little stage-like thing, stuff like that, this nav mesh will control that. So the way we get to that is we come over here to our place, we go down to volumes. Under volumes, if you scroll down, or you can use the search engine here, we can just type in nav, and we see nav mesh bounds volume. Go ahead and drag that out into the level anywhere you want. Alright, go over to details. Now, we need to scale this so it covers the whole area that we want. In this case, I want the whole map to be walkable. Alright. Now, you'll notice all these little green spots on top of these blocks and this green section here. Everywhere that is green is an area this bot can walk. Okay. I don't want the bot to walk up on top of that stuff right now. So we're just going to do this. And then I need to realign it with this right here. There. Alright, top. So now as you can see, there we go. So now as you can see, everywhere that is green is where our bot can walk. And you can see how it computes around the corners of these items. It doesn't get right up on top of it. There are some settings you can play with to kind of make it get there, but for the sake of this video, that's not needed, so we're not going to cover that at the moment. Well, we're going to stop right there, and then in the next video, we're going to get the behavior tree set up, alright, and we're going to look into getting some basic controls going to where our bot can at least walk around. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.